I think so I'm sharing my story because I think the people who are listening to me are all teachers, right? Uh, so mhm,
Um, so before you start, let me say something to my faculties, okay?
mhm.
So all of you, let me tell you one thing. I will not exactly spell out how young is Musal, but I'll tell you one thing. That she's my daughter's age, in the same contemporary age, and I feel extremely proud for a child of her age to take so much responsibility that sometimes we adults fail to even realize. Hopefully, this is going to be a wake up call for every one of us who is attending, who is in this discussion, and take some important lesson from here of responsibility. With that, I will again hand over to Masal.
Thank you so much. Uh, for me, as like when I came to India, I was looking in different ways that I could do something for myself, and including the people who are are in the same situation as me. So sometimes the situation are different for it is always different for all of us. So for me, education was my goal, and I was always looking for the ways that I could go to university, get my degree. This was one of my dream, but when I came here, it was not that easy. It took me almost 2 years to get into university, and along the ways there were lots of lessons that I have learned. And even now there are so many refugees that they cannot go to university, and higher education is a big problem for them. And in one of the global papers that was released by the UNHCR, uh, I wrote about the importance of education. So we when the child is grown up, they're teenage, they're an adult, they need some guidance in choosing their career or which university to go. And this is basic information. When you are in a new place, it's very difficult for you to find. Most of the young refugees, they give up on their dreams, on their ambitions that they have, and they want to just work for their life. So I thought it is very important, as me as a young girl who came from Afghanistan, which education is still a problem, and not in any other country in the world, but in Afghanistan, again, women are not allowed to go to school. To write about the importance of education and how it can be a life-changing journey for girls, especially. So when my siblings, my sister and brother, in the 1990s, they were just in their primary school that the Taliban took over. And my brothers could attend the school, but my sister couldn't attend the school. And my aunt was already in the graduated from university. So in the 5 years that they were at home, not allowed to go outside, not allowed to go to school, my aunt teach them home school, and after 6 years they could go back to their schools. And now they are educated women, and they are also voices for other Afghan women. So this is one of the important things that always pushes me, that how education is important. And I know that even the current situation, when uh, I hope that some changes happen, we will have more power for women again, that they work to achieve what they could not, I mean, they cannot achieve at the moment. So this article talks about that. It is about my journey, which was published by UNHCR. And the other thing that I want to share is the book Home and Belongingness. is which I am part of it, and
Okay.
seven other youth refugees are part of it. And here we talked about how we feel home in a different country, and how we find this place. I mean, we for me, when I came to India, I told you that when first I came, the language was something new for me, the place, the people, and everything. But now, wherever I'm going, it's not as strange for me. It's not something new for me. And when I enter into one area, I feel like home. And India, Delhi become a second home for me. The sound on the street, the smell of the food, the language that people are speaking, for me it all becomes home. And in this book we talks about the home and belongingness through our lenses. Most of the time, the refugees' stories are told by a non-refugee person. In so many cases, we see that uh, stories are told by someone else. But in this book, we talked about our journey through our lenses, which the pictures that I'm going to show is the home and belongingness through my lens or my camera. Uh, so for example, maybe the peace or the comfort can be found in the touch of my mother. When we are young, we go to school daily. This is something that is happening between me and my mother. It used to happen, and now it's happening between my younger sister, who is every day going to school. This is a belongingness for me. Like, you find a connection with your mother. And I think this is something that is not happening in only in my culture. In India, this is also happening, and in so many other parts of the world.
So can I say something, Mursal? Can I add something here, if you don't
Sure,
mind?
sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
I
I would
wanted.
love
Yeah,
to have a like
right.
interactive conversation.
So yeah, I don't know how old you are, or whether you are born or not at the time. A time was there when Afghanistan produced most number of women doctors per capita in the world. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Once upon a time, in 70s, Afghanistan used to produce doctors. Think about it, women doctors.
Yes, yes.
One of the highest number of women doctors they used to produce per capita. And it is something that even India at the time used to be proud of what Afghanistan had reached at the time. But unfortunately, time changed, luck changed, and things changed completely. I just wanted to add that. Okay.
Yes, yes. As I mentioned, like my aunt had a very good life. She could go to school very with no problem, and we hope that the same good situation comes again for Afghan women.
And
Uh,
by the time at that time, India actually trained all these doctors. You'll be surprised to know they came to India to become doctors.
mhm.
Every school, every medical school here also in Cuttack, there is a medical school. They used to have some 9 seats for Afghan students. So that's how this thing was going on at the time. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, this is also part of the book. So for me also, the portrait of the people who are very close to me, it also show a connection, a belongingness. So this is a portrait of my father.
The screen is not changing. Is it changing?
Yes. Okay.
I'm still seeing the same page. I think you're in a different window. You need to make sure that you are sharing the computer window. Computer, if you share your computer window, not screen, window, then your whole PC will be able to, whole monitor will be able to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go and say present, go to share, and then let me see. Yeah, start to see. Okay, just let's see.
So
Yeah, now it's working. Yeah, now it's working. Good.
you have seen these pages?
Now we are seeing it. Now we are seeing it.
Okay, so I
Okay.
was showing it from the beginning.
Right.
So this is the letter that I talked about, and
Hmm.
it's available online on the UNICEF page. And this book also, this is the cover for the book. And yeah, so when I talked about the connection between mother and daughter, I think you couldn't see the screen. So this
Right.
is the image. And these photos are also part of the book. And yeah, I talked about the connection with the members of the family and how you find the belongingness with them. And this is a portrait of my father. Again, I'm talking about the connection of the mother and child. This is also a belongingness, and here it's a hand of a child and a mother, uh, which is I think when you're close to your mother, it feels like you're at home. The another project that I have done is that called "How Can One Abandon Love?" One of the things that struck me the most was the story that I shared, that even at that time when the situation was very hard, even from now, that how women were living in the 1990s, and when my aunt was teaching my younger siblings, it was not allowed. So what they did, they put a carpet sewing machine, and whenever someone was checking on them that what these kids are doing here, they would have said that they are sewing the carpets and doing the work, but instead they were doing the school. So this were one of the things, and among so many other things that strike me, like to do something for Afghan women, for the woman in general. And so I put some after in August 2021, when the changes happen in the country, through visual storytelling, I try to show the situation of the Afghan woman, and these are some of the pictures. I try to use the colors and symbols because I believe that like they are showing resilience. Even my mother, she couldn't complete her school, but for her, resilience was sending me to school and letting me finish my, supporting me to finish my school and my university and become a person who do something for the society, for other women. So I try to use the colors, for example, red as a symbol of resilience, that how they, throughout the history, back in the 1990s, in the 20 years, and also even now, they are the ones that are showing resilience, and they will be the change. They are the
No, can I
one.
ask you? Please go
Yeah,
back. I have to ask you a question.
sure,
So,
sure.
are you showing this picture with color on your nails to be a rebellious kind of thing, that yes, I also need to need to dress myself to make myself look good, and you show this by putting color on your nails, the way every girl in the world they do it. Is that the story here?
This is the part of the story.
Mhm.
Overall, if you look at them, the way that they dress, the way they want to be in the society, to be shown, it is, I wouldn't say restricted, it is taken completely from them. So I
Mhm.
think, yeah, this is all part of it, that how they want to be seen, they want to be shown, the way they want to be, and they have to be in the society, I think.
Yeah, I get it, but is it? I think later on, Taliban kind of prohibited using color for the girls, right?
Yeah, so
Right.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, that this is also part of it, like you cannot
Yes.
so this is also a very one of the stories that I heard when I was very young.
Mm.
My aunt used to tell me that when you the nails her nails was peeling off, and one
Mhm.
of the reason that I said that why this is happening, I remember it very good. I was very
Mhm.
young, and she
Mhm.
said it was because of the whips that the Taliban did.
Yes, yes,
So
yes, yes.
maybe this is also something in the back of my mind that show me that okay, nails and this is I just wanted to show you this resilience of them.
Yeah. So Mursal, this is something that I will recommend to you. See that the many people here, that those who are sitting in this conference room, they cannot relate because they don't know they have not gone deeply into
Mhm.
the history of what women in Afghanistan had suffered from, right? So you have to tell little bit of the background so they can connect to this rebellion, because for an Indian woman putting a or a American women putting a color fingertail color is as if is taken it for granted, right? But that is not the story for Afghan women under Taliban. So that context you have to tell so that they can relate to this. What is the resilience that we are talking about? So that's the point I'm trying to make here. Okay. So I hope everybody is getting the point.
Muslim, I would like to tell you, like, when I see this pic, what it tells me, it suggests me a suitable title, no matter how hard you try to cover with a veil, but beauty lies within our heart. So that's a fundamental right, It can't be covered with a veil. It can't be forcibly imposed. So it's a fundamental right that we will exercise. This is what it signifies? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, no, you put it very beautifully. Thank you so much. I mean, I think you put it very beautifully. That's what I'm saying. When I shared the story of my sisters and my aunt, at that time the Taliban was trying to hide them, do not educate them. But 5 years later, my sisters were not uneducated. They were not illiterate. They showed their resilience. They studied at home. They did whatever they could at that moment, and this pictures for me, I mean, you see, right now maybe Afghanistan could be like this darkness that you see at the this picture, but there is some light, and these women are finding that light, and they are showing that we exist and we will change this situation. So I think you put it very beautifully, and that's exactly what I wanted to say. So yeah, I think we talked about this, and this is also part of the project. If anyone have any question or just want to ask something, I mean, we can, you can ask anything that you feel or you think. Please feel free. And
Okay, I have some questions.
yeah,
First, how do you align your storyline with photograph? Second question, do you have any plan for narrative design aligning to the photograph? Because in visual storytelling mechanism, they develop some, you see, narrative structures, and they also adopt some story map. What will happen in the what will be the storyline? What will happen next? Then one thing, when our teachers are going to teach students about climate change and climate action, there is need for using cartoon storytelling mechanism. Can you highlight on this?
sure. So I will. That's why I'm sharing where I have started when and what I have done. I'll come also to why storytelling and why it is important. How we can give it as a powerful tool to young children to talk about different things. It can be education. For me, it was education and gender equality, but it can be anything. It can be the climate changes. It can be the problems that they are daily facing, and especially the climate changes, because this is something that is affecting our life in every second. I'll come to that in the last paragraph, and if that's fine. And also this story that I'm telling, it shows my journey, but also it shows that how we can use pick the storytelling as a tool to help, educate the young children to use it. It can be only the home or the gender equality. It can be anything.
Now this, when I look at the previous thing, it's really, really very inspiring. What it reminds me, like I can see the flower that it's talked about, and it signifies the ray of hope. It's like when you have siblings, it grows into families, and it needs a light to blossom. Okay, it needs light so that it can bear the flower, it can blossom. Okay, but here it shows like I mean, if you keep the same saplings in the dark, it can't flower, it can't blossom. But here it shows like no matter you keep us in the dark, but we will blossom, irrespective. We are ready to face the challenges. So beautifully it depicts such a nice part of the land, quite inspiring. I'm amazed to see this.
Thank you so much. Um, one of the things that I want to share is when I pick up the camera or the visual storytelling, I see that the role of women, mostly women are put in front of the camera for their beauties, and women can be seen. I mean, they are beautiful. They can be shown for their beauties, but that's not the only thing. There are so many ways that we can represent women, and one of the things that you might have noticed, in everyone we see there is a man picking the camera and capturing a woman's beauty. So this is one of the narrative which I'm working on to change it, and I wanted to show the female gaze. I love to go out and pick my camera and shoot the beautiful woman faces that I'm seeing. So this is part of film or analog photography which I have done. I mean, digital or analog, the story is important, and this is part of the analog photography. And this is some of the assignments that I have done. Some protest or the one of the things that I'm working is one of my main area of work is identity, and these are the refugee community, different communities that I have shoot. This is one of the festival of the Burmese community. I'm sorry if I think I'm moving very fast. Yeah, this is an Afghan girl.
Is this your project work? Is this your project work?
These are not big projects. These are the small assignments that I've worked on. So if we go back, this is one of the protests that happened after the Taliban takeover, and Indian women, Afghan women, they both came out on the street and they did the protest against this. And this is the Muharram
Amazon.
Is it?
Indian
So-
भी होता है.
This is an Afghan refugee woman who's making this earrings and using the embroidery. For Afghan women, embroidery is something like the language mother, and most of Afghan women, I mean, almost all of them, they know one kind of the embroidery, and this is one of the ways that they can earn in here. If they cannot find a job, they try to do the embroidery and sell it out. And she's making these earrings and selling it. This is an Burmese woman who's selling this stuffs on a festival, and this is a festival of Burmese community that is happening every year. This is also a lady who attended this festival. It was a sport match, and they have cultural show, they have a sport, and they have food stalls and all. Again, a young Burmese girl who attended the festival. This woman and kid is also from Burmese community who are sitting there and having their food. So basically, this is a small project that I did for the organization which was working with the refugee community, and they were trying to show the daily life or the happy faces of the refugees, different refugee communities. Again, the two Burmese kids are playing at the home. So this story is a little bit sad, but this was also part of it. But this girl is very the only 6 or 8 years old, and she's taking care of her father. Her father is mm, uh, mm, disabled, and he cannot move, and they're living together, and this kid is taking care of him. This is also showing a daily life of the Burmese community, the shop in Delhi. An Afghan girl, she is a youth leader. Asa was a youth leader back in 2018 and 19. Now she is a active youth leader, and with a smile. Yeah.
So where is she right now?
She's in.
Where is she right now?
She's in Delhi. She's here in India.
She's in Delhi. Okay. She's in Delhi. Okay. Okay. All right.
This is an area in Chandni Chowk, I guess. Yeah. So sorry, yeah. Jama Masjid, and yeah, these were some of the photographs which I wanted to share. Now I want to talk a short about storytelling for environment change. When I came here, I was feeling lost. And when I tried to find different ways, for me, writing was there, which one of the ways that I could express myself, and also storytelling. I'm not feeling lost, or I'm not feeling that I'm a disabled person. For example, if you define a refugee, they're saying that this number of displaced person, but that's not something that defined me, because I had a tool which I could represent myself. So the whole idea that I'm not just a refugee, I'm not just a displaced person, changed for me. And because I had a powerful tool, I had something that I expressed myself. I would say that I'm a photographer, I'm a visual storyteller, I am a student, but the idea that I'm a refugee, I'm a displaced person cannot define me, because I have this powerful tool that I can express myself the way that I want. That's why I think that it is very important that we enable our kids, our children, that they use these tools for the change, whether it can be change in their gender equality, how they respect both genders, or how it is, how to keep our environment. There are different ways that we can do it, and one of the very strong ways is obviously the visual storytelling through the because now everyone loves to hear a story. And if I would have said uh, maybe most of you do not have any idea of Afghan women, or maybe you have idea the way that the media has shown you, but maybe through the stories that I shared today, I put the different perception of Afghan women into your mind. Or maybe I'm a new face of Afghan women for most of you, which you may not have seen it. Or it's not always that they are a victim. They're also leaders. They have shown resilience, and they're showing resilience. So these are the things that I could represent through visual storytelling. So I think, and I believe in it, that if we enable kids with the tools like visual storytelling, they can be very powerful, and they can use it for greater change. So yeah, and I just want to end it by a quote, like it's saying that storytelling is the most powerful way to put ideas into the world, and it is one of the ways that can empower young kids to everyone. Thank you so much.
So can I ask you a question before I let the other audience to
Sure.
ask? So you must have heard about Khaled Hosseini.
Yes, yes. I know.
Have you heard about Khaled Hosseini?
Mhm.
The kite runner, the one of the best book which has been made into a movie.
Am I the only
You know
one?
that, right?
I think we
Hello?
lost you for a second. Yeah.
Okay, so can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Now I can hear you.
Yeah. So you must have heard about Khaled Hosseini, and he's from Afghanistan, who wrote the book The Kite Runner.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yes.
So have you read that book?
Yes, yes. I've read the book.
Very good, very good. So I don't know why I'm asking this question. For your age, you have been a beautiful speaker. Actually, I'm really surprised that you can express yourself so well. So I have to congratulate you for being such a good speaker at such a young age. And hopefully you will continue to do this visual storytelling and come up with a book that will probably make it more influential, more impactful to the society.
Thank you. Thank you. So
Hello. Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, so that's thank you for your words, and that's my goal, that in another 2 years that I am an advocate for the gender equality and education, use the visual storytelling. So I hope that by next 2 years I come up with the powerful stories of refugees and non-refugees in both education and gender equality.
Perfect. So now others can ask whatever question they have.
Any questions? Good afternoon. My question to Mursal, that when you reached India, you observed that Indian community, this polytheistic religious community with a different mindsets. So the Indian women, how you compare with the Afghan women, how they're different and how it's impactful. Is there any
So,
difference?
so if I get your question right, the Afghan woman and Indian woman, right? So I think if I talk about the Indian woman, for me, even when I came here, I had lots of support from Indian women, from Indians, and uh, people of India has been very amazing. They're very friendly, they're very supportive. In my college, apart from my college, even now in my photography journey, they are very active Indian women that are supporting me, and I think they're amazing. And also I don't know, they'll, like, your question was comparing them, but uh, I think you ask like to compare them, or just a general question about Indian women.
That polytheistic community mindset and monotheistic community mindset of two countries, which is more impactful and progressive.
But, so Afghanistan is, I think, Afghan women, the situation is very different. Like, you have Afghan women who are in the country, and they know a lot. Like, sometimes I'm surprised because I lived in that country, and sometimes I feel like they're education is taken away from them, so maybe they do not know about so many things. But even I'm surprised with the ideas that they come up with, the work that they are doing, with the braver, they are very brave, with the resilience that they are showing. And that's something that always surprised me. For example, last week when I talked with my cousin in Afghanistan, she told me that I just started with this tailoring shop where a friend of her was started. It's very small business, but that's banned for them. I mean, that's a small tailoring. It's not something. It's not dancing. It's not singing. It's just means that they earn some money for their livelihood, but that's also banned for them. So the situation is changing. But if
So,
you if, sorry, if you think like 2 years back, it was not like that. They were doing so many things. Women were sitting in the parliament, they were talking, they were speaking. And so for now I can't say anything about Afghan women. So if you are talking about them, which situation and which the period of the time they're talking about them, that's the different thing. So yeah.
so,
Sorry,
so,
you were saying
so can I
something.
explain? Yeah, can
Yes,
I
sir, yes.
explain to Amarendra some of? Yeah, let me explain to what
Yes, sir.
We lost
thinking about gender equality. Multiple times you talked about gender equality. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So, see, multiple times she spoke about gender equality, right? So the problem that she's talking about in Afghanistan, that is the acute form of gender inequality, which also exists in India. Okay, forget out of Afghanistan. Gender inequality exists even in India, and the difference is the relative positioning of women in Afghan society and Indian society. Okay, so if you see through the gender inequality perspective, and you'll understand that what Afghan women is going through. So women all over the world want to do the same thing, but very some people have the full opportunity and some don't. And the difference is the level of exposure that these women get in the society. So this problem is everywhere. Only thing is that in Afghanistan is very acute, extremely acute. That's the difference. Does that answer your question, Amrendra?
Yes. Definitely, her vision will give a new dimension to our mindset. Yes.
Muslim, I'm very one thing, ever since, sorry, Muslim, that Muslim, ever since the Taliban took over Afghanistan once again, the most fundamental right of children and women in Afghanistan that they must seek education and they are largely deprived of, So I would like to know in such context, how they make use of internet as a tool to inculcate knowledge or to inculcate education. But that privately in your house, is that like they're like even the internet is restricted or they're deprived of those to get access and to inculcate knowledge? Or are Afghan women and children get access to those tools and try to learn since they are not allowed to seek a formal education? So can you put some light on how the situation, how people come back to overcome this, What kind of deliberate attempt or effort they put in to overcome? I mean, education is fundamental right for everyone. So that's very strange, like if somebody is different.
Thank you. I think for now, technology is a powerful tool. Technology, we see that after the pandemic, in every part of the world, how it changed the education system. Now we are showing more videos, more YouTube videos, more pictures to the children compare to that 10 years back or even 2 years back pre-pandemic. With the use of technology was not that much in the classrooms, I think so even now that the schools are banned for Afghan women, many of them are getting education through online schools. So many people, Afghan women who are living outside Afghanistan and other people are supporting Afghan girls to get this school through online school. As you have mentioned, internet is again a problem there. With the areas, electricity is also a problem in some provinces, but still we are seeing the images of the people. We are witnessing the Afghan women are getting education, getting their schools, going to finishing and learning their skills like computer and all that. So these things are happening, and this is one of the hopes that we have, that it can empower young girls. And online schools are there. The problems that they have, sometimes they may not have the internet, they may not have the opportunity, but still it's a hope for many Afghan girls, and they're getting online education.
Thank you so much.
Any question? Vote of thanks upon
Any questions from anyone? Good evening, Mursal, and all others who are attending this webinar. It was really pleasant. So I, on behalf of KT Global School, I am extending my heartfelt thanks to you. But prior to that, I would like to highlight on some points that was beautifully depicted by you. So being a photographer, being into photography, being into visual storytelling, and you were advocate at this age is a real accomplishment for you. So we all appreciate your efforts, and rightfully said that refugee story is told by somebody, but you want to tell the story yourself. That actually touched all our hearts. So the pictures on the support extended by mother to complete the schooling of yours and to do something for the society as well. So it was really heart touching. And apart from that, the pictures that you showed, a 6-year-old old girl taking care of the family, and this storytelling on the environment change, and and to enable our kids to use these tools to change, which is very powerful tool as you depicted it. So I think now, and the picture where you showed that if you are finding some light where the women folks are showing that they want some light, and they just wanted to see within the smaller portion that we exist. It was very powerful on your part to show that the women folk wants to come out to the light and to show themselves that they are not lesser than anybody else. So these things, we would request Pratisha that we will go more deeper into that, because this is one side. We are teaching fine, we are teaching what is being prescribed, but what you taught us is life stories. And thank you a lot for that, and all others who have attended this meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very stunning invitation for you to our national conference to be held in July 2023, and you have been taken as lead speaker in our forthcoming Global Summit of Youth for Climate Change. So we will also invite you to interact with other stakeholders in due time. Thank you very much for your time, and addressing our team. Look forward to your future cooperation. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It was a privilege to be among the amazing teachers here, and to have the opportunity to speak and share my story with all of you. Thank you so much for listening me and inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you. She has left.
क्या था वो स्टोरी में? क्या था स्टोरी में?